Hi there, class. Today you're going to be hatching and looking at your creature collage and trying to work out how on earth you're going to describe all the different textures, surfaces that there are on your animals. In simple terms, you might be very lucky. You might have something like a zebra, you know, and there's a little marking, whatever it is that you've made, and so on, and you just want to go into that with your pen or your biro. Either are good. A pen just means that you get one type of line. It's just a black line. There is no sort of change within that. To demonstrate, that's a pen line. A biro line, I can press light or hard, light or hard. Okay. Now, when you come to hatch in a blocked area, try to avoid having a big thick line around it. Try to work right up to that. Try to sort of blend it in so there's no real change. Think about the direction the fur might be running on the animal. If you can see any little tells on that, have a look. I think with the side of a zebra, it's running kind of slightly along. It's little short hairs, and I'm going to try and capture that texture. In the white areas, the areas in between, there's still going to be some texture within that. There's going to be little tells that there's a hair here or there, or there's a little bit of light and dark. You know, it's not a perfectly polished, smooth surface. So when I come to that area, I might just spot the odd little bit, and I'll just add in some little marks just to show that the texture kind of continues, to show that these are not sort of stuck on or painted on top of it. These are part of the same sort of surface. So that's that one. If I was doing little short-haired fur, like say on a lion or a meerkat or a household cat, panda, anything like that, I'm just going to try and look where the darkest parts are, and I'm going to do little short marks and try and look which way the lines are going of the fur on the actual animal. In areas that are lighter, I just put less marks down. Little shorthand. A bit like if I was drawing grass on a field, I wouldn't draw every blade of grass. I would just, if this is my field, I'd just have, you know, the odd little tuft of grass just to sort of show that it has a surface to it. So I would try and build up darker. Remember, you can't rub anything out. So try not to overwork those light areas. You can always add a bit more to them. You can't take away. And then when you get into a really dark area, say like the eye on a meerkat, you can work in quite fiercely. A meerkat's fur seems to sort of spike up all over the place. So I'm not going to follow too much of a pattern. Just going to try and sort of capture that busyness of it, the rough textures of it. If it's a longer haired animal, simple again, you know, the mane of something, I'm just going to have to make my pen marks longer. Still going to vary where they're light and dark. What are we looking at? Maybe the mane of an animal. Yeah, and I'll just try and target, is it a little bit darker in some areas? And I just make sure those lines are nice and long. Something like a reptile. Let's have a look. See if I can get an image for myself on that. It might have more of a patterning to it. So it might be that I'm actually drawing the kind of shaping and then looking where it goes dark. And then just adding a few little suggestions to sort of build up the textures. I can't show colour, but you squint your eyes, you can kind of get a bit of a sense of where's darker, where's lighter, even though they're just colours. You know, some colours are darker or lighter than others, and you can build that up. Any other types of things like your seals, whales, anything like that, beaks of animals. If it's not a fluffy old seal, if it's one of those kind of like shiny ones, a little bit trickier. You're just essentially looking to follow the curve of the animal. So if I'm coming down the back, I might need to go around the animal a little bit. It will add a certain sense of texture to it, that's unavoidable. But hopefully when you kind of stand back from the picture, it gives you a sense of lightness. There might be little dots and little spots and things that come through on them. Okay, there's an infinite number of these things. If you've got a light area like the light whiskers on it, the only way those whiskers are going to show up is if there's dark around them. So you build your light lines by adding dark in around them, okay? You'll notice in your image, I'm sure it'll have that. If it doesn't, then it means they're not very visible. It means they don't really need to be included. Okay, so you might end up with something like this for your whiskers of a seal, where something's built up in and around them. Okay, so they're defined that way. Okay, good luck today, guys. I'll be online to answer any calls, okay? So if you need something, just message me, send me images.